We are announcing today our third major indictment against the Imperial Gangsters. The Imperial Gangsters are an ongoing criminal enterprise whose members for years have committed multiple acts of murder, attempted murder, drug and firearm offenses in Northwest Indiana, primarily in the cities of East Chicago and Hammond. In our prior indictments, we've charged 15 members of the Imperial Gangsters. Today's indictments adds 8 more. Those are Salvador Chavez, age 33 of Chicago, Raymond Campos, age 28 of East Chicago, Ace Cortez, age 33 of East Chicago, Julian Guillermo Serna, age 23 of Munster, Julius Solis, age 23 of East Chicago, Darmael Cortez Sutton, age 29 of East Chicago, Eddie Torres, age 42 of East Chicago, and Richard Reyes, age 40 of East Chicago. All of these individuals have been charged today with conspiracy to commit racketeering activity on behalf of the Imperial Gangsters. The earlier Imperial Gangster indictments alleged 7 homicides. Today's indictment sadly adds 5 more homicides. Charged today are the homicide of Anwar Paez, which occurred on or about July 24, 2004 in East Chicago, allegedly committed by Ace Cortez. The second is the homicide of Guadalupe Trevino on or about July 24, 2005 in Gary, Indiana, allegedly committed by Jason Medina. Third, the homicide of Renee Alonzo, committed on or about September 16, 2007, allegedly committed by Richard Reyes. Fourth, the homicide of Luis Ortiz on or about September 26, 2007 in Hammond, Indiana, allegedly committed by Juan Briceño. And 5, the homicide of Mario Soriano on or about March 25, 2008 in Hammond, Indiana, allegedly committed by Julian Guillermo. Today's indictment also alleges 4 additional attempted homicides. 3 of those homicides are alleged against Juan Briceño in June of 2008, February of 2009, and in August of 2009. The 4th attempted homicide is alleged against Julian Solis, occurring in March of 2009. Agents and officers from the departments represented before you today were out this morning making arrests. Arrested this morning were Richard Reyes in Hammond, Raymond Campos in East Chicago, Ace Cortez in Griffith, Indiana, and Eddie Torres arrested this morning in Orlando, Florida. The 4 remaining defendants, Salvador Chavez, Julian Serna, Julius Solis, and Darmael Sutton, are all already in custody on various federal or state charges. What we are in the process of doing now is getting all of them into our system. Some of these individuals had initial appearances this morning. All of them will be coming through our system in the next week or 2, and we will be seeking pretrial detention on all of these individuals. I cannot thank the agencies and police departments up here enough for the hard work by the men and women in their respective departments. This is an ongoing, organized effort, and we are determined to rid Northwest Indiana of these organized criminal investigations. And I can assure you, every one of the agencies and departments represented today before you concur in that. Let me conclude my remarks with yet another message to the remaining members of the Imperial Gangsters and to the other ongoing criminal organizations. We are coming to get you. We are going to continue our cooperative law enforcement efforts until every one of you are off the streets of Northwest Indiana.
Good afternoon. For the past 20 years, the Imperial Gangsters street gang has been engaged in Systematic acts of violence and narcotics trafficking in East Chicago? Not anymore. Today, FBI SWAT teams from Indianapolis, Springfield, Chicago, and Tampa, in partnership with the East Chicago Police Department Gang Unit, the Gary PD, Hammond PD, and ATF and others, arrested additional 4 gang members suspected of and charged with participating in this organized criminal activity. The FBI remains committed to eliminating gang violence and gang-related activity across Indiana. In the last 6 months, FBI Safe Streets task forces, assisted by local, state, and other federal partners, have arrested over 100 violent gang offenders from several organizations, many with long records of terrorizing the communities in which they live. This must end, and to ensure it does, the FBI, again joined by agents, officers, investigators, and detectives from multiple organizations, will make sure that we use every available law enforcement tool to see that these offenders are arrested, that their property is seized and forfeited, that their illegal proceeds are seized and forfeited, and that their affiliates and associates are afforded no safe havens in the state of Indiana or elsewhere in the United States.
This past week, the FBI released their UCR, Uniform Crime Report data, and East Chicago was prominently mentioned as having an issue with violent and property crime. And I've been answering questions all week from the media as to what I thought of that and what my response was. A large part of my response is right here. Look at who's standing up here. And unified, we stand up here, because not any of us working alone can be as effective as all of us working together. And that is the commitment of the federal government, that is the commitment of the Hammond Police, the Gary Police, the East Chicago Police, everyone. And we will continue with that commitment. I echo Mr. Kapp's statements that we remain committed to rounding up the other individuals associated with this group and other groups that want to challenge the both federal and state laws. We stand ready to take them on. I do thank Mr. Kapp and Mr. Nozick for their hard work. I certainly thank the FBI and ATF for all the assistance they provided. I'm proud of the men and women of this police department who work day in and day out, striving to do their best that results in this type of prosecution. To those narcotics and gang officers we have, to those assigned to the federal task forces, and to those who don a uniform every day and go out and work the streets. I'm proud to be associated with this department, and I look for further successful investigations in the future. Thank you.